Hey, Mike. What? Who's got next?
What's good, y'all? It's your man, Hezo. Welcome back to the Black Tower. I always got next, you feel me? So it's time to talk about KD, man. So as we all know, the Suns lost Game 6 last night at home. Didn't just lose, got blown out the water in a game in which Devin Booker nor Kevin Durant played well. They did not show up. After the praise that I gave Devin Booker in my last video, just consistently hyping him up and everything like that, he really let me down last night. Finished with 12 points on the night, didn't shoot well in another closeout game at home. The Suns just got blown out, very similar to the fashion they got blown out last year in Game 7 against Dallas. Devin Booker didn't show up in those games. Now, we're not here to talk about Devin Booker. Now, if you're a KD fan, this one's probably going to sting a little bit, and it's probably not going to be what you want to hear. But keep in mind, it's all my opinion at the end of the day. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Drop a like. Enough talking. Let's get into it. So I know a few of you out there are probably wondering, Hezo, why you got a Melo jersey on? I'm going to get to that in just here. I'm going to get to that in a second. But I think it's time to start kidding ourselves of what Kevin Durant's legacy is. Now, yes, I'm fully aware that he has 2 championships. He has 2 finals MVPs. Yada, yada, yada. That's cool. I get it. Whatever. Kevin Durant, outside of playing with Steph Curry, is Carmelo Anthony. It's not a shot at Melo. I love Melo. Melo's one of my favorite players, as y'all see from the title of my channel. But Kevin Durant without Steph Curry is a guy that he can't get it done. He cannot get it done as the main guy on a championship caliber team, and it's been proven. Let's flash back to the 2016 Western Conference Finals when the Warriors were down 3-1 against the Oklahoma City Thunder in games 5 and 6. Kevin Durant shot poorly from the field. Dude didn't show up. Yeah, I think game 5 he had maybe he might have had 40, but he took a lot of shots and he shot poorly from the field. He didn't shoot well from 3 the entire series. And games 5 and 6 in particular is pretty much sealed the deal of the fate for the OKC Thunder in that series because KD did not show up. Russell Westbrook didn't play great either. I'm not giving him a pass for that. But when you're Kevin Durant, you're supposed to be one of the greatest scorers to ever play, one of the greatest players to ever play. You blow a 3-1 lead to Steph Curry. Then you go on to join Steph Curry after you blow a 3-1 lead. And you win 2 championships. You win 2 finals MVPs. Everybody's putting Kevin Durant into the top 15 all-time conversation. Maybe borderline top 10. We're not doing it, man. It's time to leave Kevin Durant out of that conversation. In my opinion, Kevin Durant is no longer considered a top 20 player of all time. Now you might be thinking, Hezo, you are out your mind. Kevin Durant's one of the greatest scorers, blah, blah, blah. I get it, man. I really do. But what has Kevin Durant realistically shown in the playoffs outside of those 2 championship years with the Warriors? I get he went to the finals with OKC in 2012, whatever it was, and they got walked down by LeBron in the Heat. Went to the Western Conference Finals, blew a 3-1 lead. Again, I'm not gonna touch more on that. Let's fast forward to a little bit after the Golden State era when he goes and signs with Brooklyn. We all know he tore his Achilles in the 2019 NBA Finals. Tore his Achilles and missed pretty much 2 years. In 2021 in the semifinals, geez, words are hard. In the semifinals against the Milwaukee Bucks, he played pretty well. I ain't gonna lie, he had a pretty good series. But you don't get a pass, man. Let's keep in mind. The Nets were up 2-0 in that series. Then they were up 3-2 in that series. So not only did they blow a 2-0 lead, they blew a 3-2 lead to the Bucks. Yes, I understand. Kyrie was hurt. I get it. But James Harden was still playing. You can say what you want about him not being healthy. I don't care about that shit, man. Kevin Durant did not get it done. And I know a lot of KD fans are out there going to be like, oh, well, if his foot wasn't on the line, then they advanced to the Western or Eastern Conference Finals. That's cool, man. I get it. It doesn't matter. It happened. They lost in 7 games. They blew a 3-2 lead, blew a 2-0 lead, whatever you want to call it. Now we look at last year. Kevin Durant gets walked down. Him and Kyrie by the Boston Celtics get swept in a series where Kevin Durant was pretty much clamped the entire series. Listen, I am not a box score watcher. I am not a points per game watcher. If you go out and you put up 29 or 30 points a game, but you do it on dog shit efficiency in a loss, I'm sorry, you didn't show up. You did not come to play your game in which we are accustomed to seeing. Kevin Durant did not do that last season in that series. I think he averaged 27. That's cool. But he shot 37% from the field. and a series that the Nets just were never even in. They just got completely obliterated against the same team. The same team, keep in mind, that Trae Young got 2 games against. A 6-foot Trae Young got 2 games against that Boston Celtics team that swept KD and Kyrie. Now let's fast forward back to this season, right? I understand Kevin Durant missed a lot of time. He had some injuries. You know, a lot of people were saying, oh, you know, they lost to Denver because they didn't have enough time to mesh. Y'all weren't saying that when KD was out there dropping 40, when Devin Booker was dropping 40, or 35 and 35 when they had 70 combined points. Everybody was saying, oh, they look great together. The Suns are going to be really hard to beat. Let's keep in mind, man, the Suns would have never even got past the Clippers if Kawhi and PG were healthy. Let's keep that in mind. It was a 1-1 series before Kawhi was hurt. And if PG was healthy, man, that series ain't even close. So for the fans out there, the Suns fans or the KD fans that want to say, oh, well, Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton were hurt, I don't care about that. You played an injury-plagued team in the first round. Kevin Durant didn't show up the entire the entire Denver series. He had probably about 1 good game out of 6 games in this Denver series. Shot 22% from 3. That's the best player in the world? According to some of y'all, Kevin Durant's the best player in the world when he's healthy. I'm not hearing it, man. I'm tired of this narrative that Kevin Durant is such an all-time great. Yes, he's an all-time great, top 30 player of all time. But let's stop elevating him over some of the guys like Curry and everything, like Kawhi. I'm not doing it, man. I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of the narrative because Kevin Durant has yet to get it done outside of years playing with Steph Curry. He built that team in Brooklyn. It failed. He demanded a trade to Phoenix. They failed. I make the Carmelo comparison because Melo never played with great players throughout his career. He never had the chance to go on and win a championship because of the supporting cast that he had throughout Denver and throughout New York whenever he was in his prime. Kevin Durant has had the luxury of playing with superstar caliber players, superstar MVP caliber players, former MVP players, Hall of Fame players. Kevin Durant has played with a prime Russell Westbrook, a prime Kyrie Irving, a prime Devin Booker, a pretty damn good James Harden. Couldn't find my words there again. A James Harden who's still a all-star caliber player, and yet Kevin Durant has nothing to show for it since those 2 championships in Golden State. At what point are we going to stop giving this guy a pass? Stop making excuses for him. Because if this was LeBron or any other great player, he would be crucified. He would be taken off those type of lists because he can't get it done as the guy without Steph Curry. Steph Curry has 2 championships without Kevin Durant. Y'all keep that in mind. 2 championships without Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant has made it past the first round 2 times since his departure from Golden State. 2 times he's made it past the first round. Has yet to go back to a conference finals since he's left Golden State. Even before he went to Golden State, yes, he had 1 finals appearance and another conference finals appearance. That's not much different than Melo's career. What he was doing with far less talent around him. Melo went to a Western Conference Finals as the guy. I'm sorry. Kevin Durant is much closer to a guy like Carmelo than he is to a player like LeBron James. And you can hate on me all you want for that. It's facts, man. Kevin Durant has not been able to get it done as the guy without Steph Curry. The proof is in the pudding. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about any of that bullshit. I look about leading a team and when you get through the trenches and all that, and when it gets tough, what do you do in the moment? It's so frustrating when everyone holds on to the 2 championships that he basically bought when he went to Golden State. A closeout game at home in Game 6 against Denver. And this dude was, 2 for 13 at halftime? KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, had more points at the half combined with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. More points combined with those guys. He had 19. I think he had 19, 20. And I think the Devin Booker and Kevin Durant had 18. Either way, that's sad. That is pitiful. And if you're Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, you cannot go out like that. Those guys didn't show up. Kevin Durant often looks just disinterested. Ever since he got those 2 championships, he looks disinterested. He looks like he just doesn't care. He's got his rings. He got his bag. It's whatever to him. It is time to stop this narrative that Kevin Durant is that guy. He's not. He's not. Now, I viewed Giannis as the best player in the world for the last 3 seasons. You can argue Joker for sure because he's playing out of his mind. But Giannis to me is still the best player in basketball. And even if you want to point out, Giannis lost in the first round against the Heat. Okay, that's fair. Giannis played 2 games in 11 minutes in game 1. Okay, that's fine. But even in a closeout game, again, I even said Giannis did not play well in that game. At the end of the day, he still had 38 and 20. 38 and 20. While Kevin Durant had 23 points last night in a closeout game at home with Devin Booker on your side. Come on, man. How much more star power does this dude need? How many more, stars that you have to surround him with for him to get the job done? He couldn't get it done with Westbrook. He couldn't get it done with Kyrie. Couldn't get it done with James Harden. Can't get it done with Devin Booker. Got it done with Steph Curry. It's because Steph Curry's the top 5 player of all time. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. This is not a video to slander Kevin Durant. It's really not. I'm not taking away from Kevin Durant's greatness. I'm just tired of putting him on that level of a guy like LeBron, a guy like Giannis, a guy who proved that he can carry a team. Kevin Durant's not one of the guys you just drop on any team and they instantly become a contender, a championship contender. Because if they were a championship contender, they would at least got to the conference finals. LeBron is that guy. Giannis to me is that guy. Again, Kevin Durant to me is not a top 20 player of all time. You can argue top 25, but there's a lot of guys I would take over him, and I'm taking Kawhi Leonard over him. I'm taking a healthy Kawhi Leonard. Now I know Kawhi has battled his injuries, but Kawhi has got it done as the man on a team that could not get to the finals. He has got it done. He didn't need an all-time great player to win a championship. Keep in mind, his second best player was Pascal Siakam. Yeah, Pascal's a good player. He's not an all-time great. Kevin Durant has had all-time great Hall of Fame players, and it can't get it done. Stop making excuses, man. My last point that I want to make, and I want to go back to the Melo point real quick. When you look at the guys that Melo played with, when Melo was in his prime, he played with a 32-year-old Allen Iverson for about a year and a half. Okay, that's cool. In Denver, they didn't do well, but it was only a year and a half. Played with Chauncey Billups towards the end of his tenure, whenever they got to the Western Conference Finals. Now, everybody knows Chauncey Billups was not a superstar caliber player. He was not an MVP caliber player. He'll probably be in the Hall of Fame someday. But again, he was also past his prime. Played with an old, washed-up Amari. After Amari's first year in New York, Amari was a shell of himself. That's it. The list ends there. You can miss me with the J.R. Smith and Tyson Chandler and Kenyon Martin and Marcus Camby. Miss me with that bullshit. Those are not Hall of Fame MVP caliber players that Kevin Durant has had throughout his career. That's why I make the comparison that if Kevin Durant does not go to Golden State, he's Carmelo Anthony, man. His career is just like Melo's. He's sitting at the same exact table that Melo's sitting at. And it's time to accept that. Some of y'all may not want to, but it's time to accept it. That's facts. I'm done ranting, man. Y'all leave your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know what you think about KD. Where do you see him ranking? Again, all that type of good stuff. Drop a like on the video. I'll catch y'all next episode.